So what if I tell you that there is a newly launched eyeshadow palette which is gonna work absolutely well on all skin tone and it's gonna look great for any occasion? Aren't you curious to know more about this? Wait till you know more. So hi y'all, today we're going to be talking about the newly launched eyeshadow palette from Praush Beauty. This is the Praush Showstopper eyeshadow palette and this comes with a total 18 shades and we're going to be talking about the palette. I'm going to drop some hand swatches right now here for you to check it out. So hey y'all, today I'm going to be talking about a product which I'm so excited to show you ever since the launch. It is something which is just made me kind of feel so excited like after a very long time. So we're going to be talking about the Praush's newly launched eyeshadow palette. This is the Showstopper eyeshadow palette and we're going to be talking about the palette in depth. So this palette contains a total 18 shades which has a mix of mattes as well as shimmers and it retails for 3,300 rupees. So out of the 18 shades in this palette, it contains 12 matte eyeshadows and the remaining 6 are shimmer formulations. Now that you've seen the hand swatches as well as the palette, now let's go ahead to create a look and let's put this through the test. So I'm going to start off with the shade called as Savage on the Praush P19 brush. So you can see that there is no patchiness and it gives me such a beautiful intense color. I really like these kind of very dark smoke and plum kind of a shade. So it does layer really well. I'm going to slightly take that into the crease. So next up I'm going to use the P24 brush and I'm going to dip it into the shade called as Swank. So one amazing thing that I'm noticing about this palette is that it blends so well and it is so pigmented. I think that is something I absolutely love, that it can blend well as have the pigmentation, and you can see that in just one swipe I'm getting a good intense rich amount of pigment on my lid. And the best part is that even though I'm using all the darker shades, there is no fallout on my skin. My base is already done, so I would really love an eyeshadow palette without any fallout, and this is perfect for it. So I've just blended out the first color with the color here called as Swank, taking a little bit of Gutsy and slightly adding that at the outer corner to slightly smoke out the edges further. So I'm moving on to the P22 brush and I'm picking up the shade Vigorous and I'm going to blend out the edges. You can see how quick and how simple and how easy it is to use these brushes as well as the eyeshadow palette. It blends out so beautifully and it's given me such a beautiful gradient effect right now. The best part about this palette is that it comes with an inbuilt mirror and the mirror is so big that you can literally see both of your eyes while you're doing, and I absolutely love a good eyeshadow palette with a mirror. It makes it a lot more travel friendly as well as user friendly. So we're going to move on to this shade here called as Peppy. It's kind of like this really beautiful cranberry rose kind of a color. It's such a beautiful color and I love the way the shimmers look on the pan. It looks so sparkly. So I've got this on the Praush P18 brush and let's just pat that on the center of the lid. Okay, that is beautiful because it's such a shimmery formulation and I have zero fallout on my skin. I'm going to slightly blend out the edges with the same brush, take it till the crease, and I'm going to take it towards the mid part of the lid as well as the inner 1/3 of the lid. It is such a beautiful color with such a beautiful finish. Look at that. So adding the shimmer on the other eye too, and oh my god, I can't believe that there is literally no fallout. The eyeshadow is so pigmented and it's so sparkly. You have no idea. I don't know that the camera is getting it on, but then it is so sparkly. It's such a beautiful formulation and there is no fallout. I'm going to go back with the P19 brush and we're going to slightly deepen the outer corner and slightly blend out the edges between the matte and the shimmer. So we're going to move back to P24 and I'm going to apply a little bit of Swank along my lower lash line. So now I'm using the P09 brush and I'm picking up the shade here called as Groovy and we're using that to blend out the lower lash line. So next up we're going to use the P08 with the shade Snazzy, which is like this really beautiful inner corner highlight shade. It's actually perfect for the inner corner highlight. we're just gonna pack that towards the inner corner and slightly pull that into the lower lash line too. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off my eyes and I'll be right back. So let's move on to the color story with this palette. This palette is something which can definitely be used by all Indian skin tones, which is something I absolutely love. This palette will definitely cater really well to the deeper skin tones too, and you can see that we have a lot of variety of shades and variety of intensities in this palette. I feel like the team has definitely thought and considered to include all kinds of skin tone, and I absolutely love this palette for that. You do have a good range of transition eyeshadows. There's one over here too. You have a good range of eyeshadows to deepen up your crease, and you have a good amount of shades to kind of make it a lot more deeper and a lot more grungy and smoky. Plus you have a black in an eyeshadow palette, which is something I personally love. So in a nutshell, if you look at this palette, this contains a lot of pinks, maroons, mauves, browns and black. So I would say that the color family as well as the color intensity in this, it has such a good variety that it's going to be great for everyday office wear, as well as something if you want to kind of make it a lot more glam for a party, and if you want to go ahead for something like an event, it's also going to be great for that. So I would say that this palette is that perfect palette where it's going to be great for creating extremely everyday trending modern looks, as well as casual everyday office wearable looks, and it's going to be great for Indian glam looks too. So if you're a pro or a bridal artist, this will definitely cater to you, and it's going to be great for creating all those glam looks on your brides too. So I'm going to move on to the formulation of this palette. The mattes in this palette are extremely high quality, very blendable, and they're super intense, and there was no fallout at all even with the darker shades. So this will definitely give you that one swipe pigment where you can just apply it and it blends out beautifully, and I did not have any skipping, and nor did I have a lot of fallout and kickback when I was creating the looks too. So this is definitely that high intensity one swipe pigment, but it's also extremely buttery, which helps to make it blend out a lot more easier too. So this eye look which I created today was definitely under 5 minutes, so it's super easy because it gives you this one swipe intense pigmentation, so you don't have to waste your time by layering it, and it also blends really quick. So the quality of this palette is definitely really good, and I absolutely love the formulation. So you can create very neutral looks and take it all the way up to creating a super glam party look too. So while I was blending, another thing which I absolutely loved was that there was no patchiness or any kind of texture it was showing, plus the eyeshadow did not skip at all. So let's talk about packaging. It comes in this beautiful cardboard packaging. It has this white and rose gold aesthetic to it, which I absolutely love, and it has a huge sized of mirror in that. Really helpful, especially when you're creating looks on the go, and the pans are properly arranged in this. I really like the order and the placement of it. That way you can choose the colors depending on the look which you're creating. So let's say you want to do something more warmer, you have your colors here. You want something more on the pinky purpley side, you have it right over here. The deeper tones are right over there. I really like the way that they've been placed in the palette. I think it's a lot more easier, especially if you're a beginner, and the packaging is absolutely stunning. So I do have a coupon code with Praush. I will drop it for you down in the description bar below and on the screen. That way you get a 20% off on your purchase from Praush. I hope you all enjoyed my review on the Praush Showstopper eyeshadow palette. It's definitely a must-have eyeshadow palette. It's perfect for all skin tones, and I absolutely love how this look can be something as simple as a subtle day glam look, and you can take it all the way up to an Indian bridal glam look. I absolutely love how versatile it is, and the shimmers in this are to die for. Definitely get your hands on this and let me know what did you think about it down in the description bar below. So I'll see you guys for another one. Until next time, bye bye.